Have you heard of Aristotle's 3 types of friends?
So just remind me, which one is Aristotle?
I don't know.
Welcome to Man of the Year.
I'm Matt Ritter.
And I'm Aaron Karo.
We're the champions of friendship.
And we have one of the best friendship traditions of all time. Me and Matt are part of a group of 9 best friends. We've all known each other since childhood. And for the past 20 years, on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, we gather at Peter Luger's Steakhouse in Brooklyn, and we have a dinner where we vote on which friend had the best year. Whoever wins gets our giant Man of the Year trophy, which is in the studio right here with us. It's about half a Stanley Cup, maybe 2/3 a Stanley Cup. They get their name engraved on it, and they get to keep the trophy for the rest of the year.
And it is an insane night. And let me just explain to you, the voting is completely subjective. You could have had a kid. You could have gotten a new job. You could have made $1 million. Seriously, that person lost that year. No matter what, you just have to convince your friends that you had the best year of life. It's an amazing tradition. I look forward to it every year. And it has kept us close for so long. And that's part of the reason that we're doing this podcast. We feel like there's a lot of people out there who feel detached from their friends, who feel like they don't have any friends. There's an epidemic of loneliness going on. So we want to be there for you. We want to be your homies away from home.
I'm very excited about this.
Dude, I was actually reading Aristotle, of all people. He broke down friendship. Like, he gets it. He has the whole... Have you heard of Aristotle's 3 types of friends?
So just remind me, which one is Aristotle?
I don't know.
He's Greek.
He's one of the thinkers. There was Plato, and there was Aristotle, and there was Socrates, and there were a bunch of other guys that we kind of learned in 3rd grade, and that's it. Aristotle, I thought this was crazy because we're doing this podcast about friendship and just like Googling friendship stuff. Aristotle came up with 3 types of friendship. So the first type is called friendship of pleasure. Second type is friendship of utility. Third type is friendship of virtue. So these are the different types of friends, right? Like
Okay.
friend of pleasure, friend of utility, friend of virtue.
Okay.
First question is, what type of friend am I?
Well, what does each one mean?
Friend of pleasure.
That one.
I knew you were going to say that. Friend of pleasure is somebody that you do things with. You have a shared, you're going to have a good time with. You're going to,
Got it.
you'll go party with, whatever. You want to do immoral things, you call a friend of pleasure.
Got it.
Friend of utility is somebody that you share common interest with, like your gym buddy, your school friend, work friend.
Yeah.
And then friend of virtue is somebody that you actually have like a deeper relationship. So he says the first 2 are kind of surface. The friend of virtue is like somebody who actually wishes well for you and vice versa. And like friend of pleasure is like, you don't really call them unless you're going to a concert or something.
Right. Well, I mean, I think probably both friends of virtue, just by virtue of it's been 35 years.
Yeah, eventually you have to become.
Clearly, you're my friend of pleasure and I'm your friend of utility.
Absolutely. I would say if we surveyed our friends, they'd go, Matt's definitely the pleasure friend, Karo's utility friend. Although I would say you're pleasure utility combo.
Yeah, I'm a good hybrid.
I'm pure pleasure.
Yeah, if you want to go out and like make some questionable decisions,
call this guy friend of pleasure.
Ingest some questionable things.
Yeah, I want to get a t-shirt that says friend of pleasure. That's like my first order with this podcast. But I was thinking about that too, because I was like, damn, am I the friend of pleasure? Like, that kind of hurts my feelings when I think about it.
I mean, is that worse than being a friend of utility? Like, you call me when you don't know how to use Dropbox.
Right. Actually, I did do that this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Does that make you feel bad if I was like, oh, you're a friend of utility?
I mean, I say we talk probably 20 times a week.
Okay.
18 of those times are you asking me questions.
So I treat you as a friend of utility.
But I don't mind it.
Yeah. But I feel that I get treated as a friend of pleasure by a lot of people.
I mean, that's to be a good time Charlie. It's not a bad.
Yeah, I think as I get older, I kind of don't like it as much. Because it's like, oh, I've actually backed myself into a corner now.
For Aristotle to come up with this, what were they doing that they called someone a friend of?
Oh my God.
Those togas.
The Bacchanal times.
And now, was this the time of the libertines?
Oh yeah.
I think that was like 5,000 years later.
5,000 later, but yeah. I mean, there was a very libertine environment.
Right.
Do
they wear an underwear under the toga?
No. Just toga and lots of grapes being fed to them.
So they go to the bathroom. They
That
lift the
house.
toga up front, you think?
Well, first of all, you're making a huge assumption that there is a bathroom,
Well,
In there-
a latrine,
a
a
hole in
ditch.
the
Yeah.
a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to lift it. I think you just squat on the ground and you kind of flow.
You're saying the ancient Greeks sat when they peed?
Oh yeah, when they pee. Oh, I was thinking about women. For some reason, I was thinking about women.
Wow. That's a first.
Yeah.
That doesn't even make any sense.
I don't know. I don't know what the implication is, but I guess. I think the toga, like, it doesn't it kind of like go across. So
It
there's
had.
like
I
a
mean,
whole.
we had a big toga party in college. That was our big fraternity.
Did you
thing.
wear an underwear underneath?
So I wore underwear underneath. We had an amazing T-shirts, which we'll post. It said "Zeta Beta Tau Toga Party." I came up with the slogan "Come in your sheets."
Ooh.
But anyway, in ancient times, they've got a toga. You're lifting it up.
Yeah.
You're peeing.
Yeah.
And then you just drop it
There's
back
a
down.
lot of
Do you
little
get-
pee. There's
do
a
you
lot
get-
of sprinkles.
Okay.
There's got to be a lot of sprinkles on the like the inner area of the
Right.
like when they're walking around. It's a little wet, but it's also you got to remember like there were no streets. You're walking around. There's like mud on your feet.
There's also no showering. I think
There's no shower. Yeah, everybody
Right.
stunk. You
Right.
have to remember everybody reeked up until like 1970.
So all that being said,
Like think about this. Like
Yeah.
people weren't even like showering regularly till like I don't know 15 years ago.
yeah, I went from 1970 and now it's Gen Z. I'm sure there's a TikTok.
No, now it's going back.
Yeah,
Now they're showering
yeah,
less.
yeah.
They're like, oh, we're environmentalists. Don't shower, you capitalist pig.
And then the friend of utility would be like, "Oh, they have extra ropes that go around the toga." That's me.
Yeah,
That's me.
Hey, Karo, I forgot.
Yeah.
You know I would have forgotten my rope.
Oh, you would
Oh,
show up to Senate,
Oh yeah, like dude.
dick out, full bush because that's what they had.
Kara, I need to borrow. Can I
Yeah.
borrow one of your ropes?
You would be
yeah,
holding it
like,
together
wait, why is he? Everybody has to raise their hand for the vote.
like a housewife who went to get the paper and got locked out and is in their robe. This is you at the Senate to vote on.
Yes, I believe Caesar should not rule by himself.
Okay, we've combined Rome and Greece.
Yeah,
We are
They
two-
copied. Well, the Romans copied the Greeks anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, my point was that I feel like I've backed myself into it. As an adult. Like, can I branch out from friend of pleasure? Or is that just, are you stuck being who you are? I guess I'm kind of stuck.
Once you have a kid, you'll become a little bit more utility.
You would hope. I told Jesse I want to get a sports car instead of a minivan.
Two-door, Miata.
Yeah.
Let's get a Miata. So I was on a date recently.
Okay. He doesn't
And-
usually tell me about his dates, guys.
And
So he's going to tell you.
I read about this sort of line you can use, not an icebreaker, just like a good, conversational thing on a date. And that question is, what is your role in the friend group? It like gets a conversation going. You learn about the person. It's not like a really deep thing. What do you think about that? As just like an icebreaker to like, it could be, that doesn't
I
have to be
think it's
yeah.
a great, I think
Yeah.
it's a great icebreaker. And I think it's an immediate red flag if the girl's like, I don't have any girlfriends.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
So it's also a great
Yes.
red flag spotter.
She goes, I don't have a friend group, which, some
Yeah.
people don't have a friend group, but
Yeah.
if she's like, I'm only friends with guys.
Yeah. I'm only friends with
Then
guys.
I'm getting lucky tonight,
yeah,
baby.
yeah.
So what is your role in our friend group?
Well, what are the options?
I mean, there's life of the party, organizer, secret keeper, aka the vault, the mother hen,
Okay.
the rich friend,
Yeah.
the lawyer,
The butt of the jokes.
the punching bag,
Punching bag. The muscle.
the muscle.
I mean, I think I'm the well, as we just talked about, friend of pleasure, but I think I'm also the tip of the spear
Uh-huh.
when we go out. I'm the
Oh yeah.
you know, let me go make friends with everybody else at the bar. And,
Cannon fodder, yeah, exactly.
Cannon fodder.
Legal expert.
a legal expert that can
Yeah.
come in handy. I don't know what my role is. Definitely trying to make sure people have a good time. That's my role.
Yeah, I said life of the party.
Well, yeah.
Set opener.
Yeah. I'll stay late.
Yeah.
It's your birthday. I'm always going to be the
Come
guy.
late, stay late.
Yeah, I'll stay late. I'll make sure you get home
Yeah.
or get somewhere.
So
What is your role?
I think my role is one, I'm the historian. I have
Historian.
I have pictures from
The friend historian.
Yeah, very important.
Okay. I
Uh,
never really thought of that as a
Like if
as
you're
a role, I
I'll-
mean, I think that's
you're like, remember that party from 2012?
Yeah.
And I show you a picture. You're like, I love this.
Actually, I do love it. I just
Yeah.
never thought we needed it, but I do now.
I mean, I basically sort of, I keep the rules for the man of the year. Like I have the Constitution, the winner
You're
list,
the parliamentarian.
the parliamentarian. I'd also, life of the party.
Yes. You play a lot of roles. I would say actually you're the connector.
Connector. Yes, absolutely. I'm the secret keeper of the group. I am this vault.
Yeah,
The secrets that I have.
you got some secrets.
Is the secrets.
Yes.
I'm sitting. You saw that thing from the other day that they were celebrating that Russian soldier
Yeah.
from 30 years ago who he got an alert that U.S. had launched nukes and he could have started World War III, but
yeah.
he didn't. I'm sitting on Minutemen.
Oh yeah, no, you're holding valises. I mean, this man is holding. He couldn't get through security at the airport. They'd be like, sorry, you have a third bag. We don't allow third bags." You'd be like, "I paid for them." They'd be like, "No, but you have a fourth bag of secrets."
I've got the nuclear football, big gloves.
Oh my, yeah, big, like those
Yeah.
foam gloves. That's how big your hands have to be to carry. You got some secrets.
That's why nobody makes fun of me because
No, you can't. You
come back 10 times
That's
worse.
why nobody ends friendships with you.
Yeah. Oh, because I have all the
They
dirt.
can't.
They can't.
They can't.
God, what a horrible thing to think about.
Nobody can
Wow,
ever
I've really just,
break up with you as a friend.
Yeah.
I think I would like to hear that. I think if you were on a date, I think that's cool. If a girl was like,
Oh yeah, I keep the
"I'm the
secrets.
secret keeper of the group," that's sexy. I'm the
Okay.
secret keeper.
And
What would you like a girl to say though? What's the best answer
that's
for
a
that?
great question.
If she's like, "I'm the partier."
You know,
I mean, on a first date, you're like, if she's like, I'm the partier.
she goes, I'm the party
Yeah, she's like, I'm the
organizer. I like sort of like both of us sort of organize stuff
Yeah.
for the gang.
Yeah.
Like you want an organizer.
Yeah, no, I
Um,
definitely put together a lot
the
of functions.
moms. One girl said she's like the mom of the group.
You don't want that.
I like to be mommed.
Yeah, you are kind of because you are kind of the mom of the group. You'd be with your. Yeah, you don't want to be with somebody who's like Karo. I don't think. Not in an insulting way. I just don't think. Do you really want to be somebody who's a female version of Karo?
Who's organized?
Yeah.
Life of the party and takes a lot of pictures. God, am I on a bachelorette party when I go out? What the fuck is wrong with me? Okay, I have a scenario for
Yeah.
you, and a hypothetical scenario. Okay, let's say you got tickets to a concert, free tickets.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who it is, but for fun, let's pick who's the band that you guys love from high school. That
Blink 182.
No, we all love them. That like
Oh, live.
Live. Do you even know? Have you ever heard of Live? Unbelievable fucking Gen Z staff we have.
Throwing copper.
If they've heard the song, if you play it.
Yeah.
So let's just say you get.
Lightning crashes.
So let's say you got free tickets to Live
Yeah.
Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah.
You want to see if I want to go. Tell me what the text you would send to me is.
Yo, got 2 tickets to Hollywood Bowl. You want to come?
So good normal text. Our friend Adam.
Yeah.
Our great friend, one of our
Yeah,
best friends. He sends me a text the other day, and it just says, "Do you have plans Sunday?"
Okay.
End of text thread.
Because he wants you to first admit you have no plans.
I don't know.
So then you're automatically forced your hand back against the wall to going, "No, I don't have plans." And you're like, "Good, you're going to this concert." with
Right.
me." Ooh, it's sneaky.
Now, as we know, Adam usually has great stuff,
Yeah.
so it's fine. But I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
Like a little test of like, tell me, I don't have plans for what?
I know. Then you end up having to lie.
Yeah.
It's like I did that like I did that where somebody was like pulled the "Do you have any plans?" and it was like, "Oh, I'm doing this birthday dinner thing."
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
only 8 people.
Ooh.
And I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, we're not that close. I don't know if I
Right.
want to be at an 8."
Right.
So then like I basically had said yes. So then I like gave it a day and I was like, "Oh, my wife's friend's coming in from out of town actually."
Right.
He's like, "And you didn't know that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't really check with her."
Yeah.
on
We don't
these
have a good relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, "You don't have it in the you don't have a shared calendar," which we obviously do.
Yeah.
It wasn't in there.
I think the text should have who, what, where, when, and why, like a journalism.
Yeah.
Like a journalism. Like a
Yeah.
journalism. Like a journalism.
Yeah, but
like a journalism.
look, I mean, I think the
Like a journalism.
flip side is sometimes you're selling something that's not so great and you got to.
Not the flip side. Oh, you mean from the inviter?
Yeah,
From the inviter.
Listen, sometimes I'm selling something that I want somebody to come with that's not like, not for everybody, but I had a Pearl Jam concert that I couldn't get takers on.
Really?
Yeah, which is weird, you know? Or or just like watching it. I just like want to go to like Barney's and watch a football game, you know?
So you're saying if you're doing something that you think other people aren't going to want to do, you're shiesty about it.
No, I've never been, but I think it's a good idea now that I'm thinking about it. I want to switch strategy. No wonder I don't get anybody to cope.
No wonder why everyone loves Adam.
Yeah,
everyone,
no wonder nobody wants to go with me, like axe throwing or archery. Those are fun activities, but like I guess bird watching.
I would never
when I want to go bird watching. It's a tough sell. If I did that, I was like, hey, what are you doing Sunday morning? Have any plan? And then they're like, no. I'm like, great. I got us 2 tickets to the Autobahn Society. It's
right.
It's the hatching of the hummingbirds.
The corollary to that is the text that says, what are you up to?
Okay.
Like, what are you, a sociopath?
I know.
What are you up to? I mean, what do you mean, what am I up to? I'm fucking living my life.
Yeah. What are you up to?
I mean, what are you up to? Because Prince Harry's at my apartment.
I always also feel pressured into having to act like I'm actually doing something.
I'd be like, I'm deep in this script.
Yeah, like actually, that's always what I'm always like. I'm deep in a rewrite.
Yeah, on a rewrite.
Deep in a rewrite.
I'm on deadline.
I'm on deadline.
Yeah, it's 7 o'clock.
By the way, when you move to LA, you realize how much of an asshole everybody is, because when you like try to make plans with somebody, that's always what they say.
Meanwhile, there's no such thing as a deadline.
I know.
Every deadline is made up.
I know.
We really need this for the weekend read.
No,
and we'll give you notes on Monday.
No, you don't.
Never hear from them again.
You're not.
Ghosted.
Yeah, you're never gonna read that. You're never gonna talk to me again. You needed that read Friday.
So I think we should make a rule. If you're texting someone for plans, all the information should be in the first text.
So it's just got to be a block text. Tuesday, 8:00, live, Hollywood Bowl. I'm paying.
Who the money and who else is going?
Oh,
right.
This is actually a funny story about the who else is going, because I got snookered. So my friend, I don't want to say names or anything because I don't want to embarrass anybody. But so my friend invited me to a charity thing he was doing, and I said I would do it because it was important. I was like, I want to, you want to support your friend's charities. And then I thought I was going to be at his table. I just assumed if I'm like driving all this way to go do it, I was going to be at his table. And then I found out I was at a table with somebody that I don't really care for. So then I just made up an excuse for why I could no longer go to the charity. And then I tripled the amount of giving.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I 10x the amount I was giving.
Well, so you gave $100?
I gave a sizable amount to not spend time with a person that I didn't really want to spend time with, but I also felt I was bait and switched.
Yeah, you got snookered. You got hoodwinked.
Yeah, because if he had put in their charity event, this, that, you got to pay $100, but you're going to sit at my table, and yours who's going to be at the table.
Right.
Instead, he put me at another table with a person I'm not so fond of, and I'm like, my time is valuable. Out, pass, and here's a lot of money to. I feel guilty that I got myself into this mess because the Karo rule wasn't abided by.
Yeah.
Speaking of texts and charities, have you donated to any political campaigns? I don't want to get into politics. I just want to know if you've donated to any political campaigns.
The amount of text I'm getting.
The amount of text that you get. What the hell? First of all, I thought Congress passed like an anti-spam text thing. And now everybody in Congress, you give them $10. Next thing you know, right? Like, oh, you give to somebody in California. Why am I getting texts from the water commissioner race in Idaho?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Zeke Miller's in a hot race for water commissioner in Idaho. He could really use your help.
Stop to end.
Yes. Stop to end. Stop to end. Like, when did this start? Like, we have to fight against this. Like, now I don't even want the person that I gave the original donation to win.
Should we use stop to end in real life?
Stop to end in real life.
Yeah.
For any text?
I sometimes get texts from people on
capitals, STOP.
Stop to do no further text on this person.
Permanent.
Done.
You're deleted as a friend.
Stop to end.
Ooh, I like stop to end. I really like that.
Yeah.
But there's really no takebacks from stop to end.
You mean you can't come back from that?
No, you can't come back from that.
I mean, if you're
well, if it's with a close friend, you can. It's like a diss. It's like you fucking text me too much.
Right. I mean,
I send to you. I probably send like 19. Sometimes I'm like, did I send them too many? I send like 19 in a row.
I mean, all your threads are on silent mode.
Well, I don't even check text, so it doesn't matter.
Wait, does your text make a sound when you receive it?
it's
None of
silent.
them?
No, I have my phone silent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All the time?
Yeah.
What about phone calls?
Let's just keep it on silent.
God, you live your life in such a
Yeah,
weird way.
I don't know. Yeah. Who's calling me? Nobody.
So your phone doesn't make any
I
sound.
see it. It's sitting next to me on the desk.
Matt's phone, he has, like a woman, he has a case that is also his wallet.
Yeah.
It opens up. He's got his fucking, Filene's basement card in it. He's got.
It's important.
Yeah. No, it's worse than that.
It's important. I got my Bloomies card in there.
He's got everything in it.
I got my SAG card in there.
And so the reason why Matt has
I got
this
my Blue Cross Blue Shield card in there.
is so he can lose everything he owns at once.
Yeah, I've got my New York Subway card in
You
there.
got your New York Fitness. You don't even.
Yeah, I've got my Subway card in there with
It's
the punch
like
card.
George Costanza's wallet with a phone, and then he loses it immediately.
It's so thick in my front leg. I no
That's
longer.
what she said.
Yeah, she's never said that to either of us. Yeah, I no longer. I no longer have hair on the front part of my leg.
Shut up.
No, I'm serious. There's I don't know. I burned it off.
God, just like we're studying Aristotle's words 5,000 years later, in the year 7,000, they're like, Matthew Ritter, look, what was on this skeleton's thigh? Was it a spear? Was it some sort of tool?
It was his Filene's basement.
It was his Filene's basement card, and was found 3,000 miles away because he lost it. So you greased a bouncer at a fraternity house at USC homecoming when we were in our 40s to try to get into a party.
But he also wasn't a bouncer. He was a kid.
He was just a guy
He
standing
was just
there.
a guy standing by the door.
Matt will just give $100 to anybody.
Well, yeah, I just greased the wheels. I've seen it done, and it just appeals to me.
Do you remember we were
I'm
out?
really good at it now. Like I could grease your palms, and you just are like, wow, you just slid that $100 bill in my hand. I didn't even know it was happening.
Let me ask
And
you
you're
a
also
question.
like, I'm not a bouncer. Why did that happen?
Do you remember you greased someone once and he gave the money back? He's like, the bar's closed. Like, I can't even take this in good faith.
I've greased so many people, I can't even keep track.
Okay, I have a Greece question.
Yeah.
You're going to Greece.
Yeah.
Before you grease,
Yeah.
give the money.
First, there's the fold, obviously.
But don't you need to know if that person?
I mean, you have a sense of who you're giving it to. I mean, obviously, I didn't realize that it was an 18-year-old at a fraternity party. I wouldn't have given him the $100 and that. Although I probably still would have because he was standing by the entrance.
But let's say Dan is anything. You go somewhere, you grease, and you're like, you think we get a table? And he's like, we literally we're at full capacity. There are no tables. Then you just greased. Does he give the money back? Like, he can't do anything for you.
Here's the thing. Usually he can.
Okay.
Usually he's just saying to peons like you, I can't do anything for
Well,
you.
peon, I'm with you, standing next to
Well,
you.
yeah, if you're not with me, you're a peon.
Yeah.
But he's just saying that to the gen pop who's not willing to grease him $100 to have a good night.
So saying greasing is 100% effective.
Not 100% effective, but in my experience, it's a lot more effective
Than not greasing, obviously.
No, it's a lot more effective than you think. So I went to a place in Sag Harbor
Uh-huh.
because you love when I say Sag
Oh,
Harbor.
yeah. God.
And I
Everybody
heard,
drink. He mentioned, he went to Sag Harbor this summer, everybody.
yes, every summer. And
Every summer. How many summers?
2.
You Sag Harbor simpleton.
And I heard the guy say exactly what you said, right? So I think most people who are thinking about greasing get scared off when they hear the guy go, there's no table, sorry, I can't help you.
Right.
The restaurant's full, there's nothing I can do. You see a family in front of you, it's like, sorry, there's nothing I can do. Like, I'm just like, no, I don't believe that. You see a guy with slick back hair, wearing a nice blazer with a French accent. That guy is greasable. He's
Greasy.
greasy. He's grease worthy.
Right.
He came here to be greased.
Right.
That is, his purpose is the greasy. He's the greasy. I'm the greaser. I need a greasy. I'm a greaser in
Yeah.
search of a greasy.
Right. Right.
So I
Right.
went up to him. This is how I did it. I went up to him. I said, hey, can I talk to you for a second? And the second you say, can I talk to you for a second? Now he knows he's getting greased properly.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now he knows.
Is that the universal grease?
I think so. It's one of them. The other one is, hey, it's great to see you again. You know.
Oh, really?
Like as if you own the place. And so I said, can I talk to you for a second? And then I said, I put the hand out, but you keep it there. You hold that handshake nice and long. I go,
Yeah.
I know it's very full. And if you can't do anything, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
It's my friend's birthday. It would be great if you can get us anything, the bar, whatever, happy to wait. Thank you. Usually they're like, I'll take care of you.
Let me ask you this. When do they look at the grease amount?
Oh, they don't look They don't look right in front of you.
Oh,
so I think there's two things you're asking, right? Like one, well, why don't you just put $1 and fold it up there? Well, then you can never go back to that place again. But two, I think a guy who's greasy, he's got a Helen Keller level of feel.
Yeah.
The man can just close his eye. He can have no sense of sight or hearing, but man, he can tell the difference between a Jackson and a Benjamin and a Sacagawea coin. You know what I mean?
He's like, oh, this one's got the new security
line,
strip. Yeah.
He can,
right this way, sir.
So the greasing amounts, I say, are either 40 or 100. Here's why. Because I think a lot of people grease 20 and maybe that's not effective. But if you grease 40, the guy knows it's a 40. He knows there's two bills. He knows that's $40. So, if it's a place that, doesn't require the hundo, but some places, listen, not every place, 100's excessive.
Do you have $100 bills on you right now?
Yeah.
It's in your iPhone wallet purse?
It's not in there right now. But if I go out, there's always going to be a couple hundreds in there. But so sometimes my wife kind of is like, you don't need to give him $100. And I'm like, well, then you don't need to have a good night. We could just go to freaking Applebee's and we don't need any of this.
This is why we're not eating a ground round
yeah,
anymore.
This is why we're not eating the ground round.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, look, to me, it's like a lot of people waste their money on a lot of different things. Like I enjoy not waiting online for an hour.
Yeah. So
I'm like, all right, 100, done. But do it the right way. Because yeah, your 100 could also go unnoticed.
Meaning
if it feels like a meat grease, the guy probably thinks it's a 20.
But he hasn't looked at it.
I know.
This is insane. These rules make no sense.
But he's looked at you and he knows the difference between a 20 greaser and a 100 greaser.
Right.
I'm 100.
Except that that doesn't make any sense.
He's also going to look the first chance he gets.
Right.
But that's also good too, because there's a delayed gratification of knowing that the guy might think you're a 20 guy and he might kind of give you the schluff off,
Yeah.
like, yeah, whatever, man. It's busy, after you've given him the thing and then he, turns the corner, right? And and then he's like, then he comes back to you and he's like, oh, I got you. And it's like, yeah, respect must be paid. Or you could just like be successful and not have to grease and be famous.
Right.
Right.
That's the key is to be post grease.
Yeah.
Post grease.
Yeah. So speaking of greasing, I actually told somebody we were doing this podcast and he's like a really successful young startup millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
And I just casually was like, yeah, we're going to talk about, different types of friends. And I mentioned the rich friend. He's like, oh, actually I would be interested to listen to that. Because I'm curious, like, how do you deal with, when friends are at different, financial levels, like, how do you handle that? Like he was like being genuine. He was like, I don't know what to do in my interactions. And like when I go out or when we go away, like, I don't really know how to handle that.
Because he's the rich one.
He's the rich one. Right. He was asking me genuinely, how do you interact? We have a few rich friends in our group. I'm curious, like, I know how I interact with our rich friends. How do you interact, or how do you kind of like, when you go out to dinner with one of our rich friends, like,
I don't bring my wallet.
Are you serious? I feel like you are.
One time I forgot my wallet. I was like, I don't need it anyway. I think that the rich people, they enjoy different things.
Yeah.
And the rich friend wants different things. And the rich friend just wants to have fun or hang out.
Yeah.
And so like our value is different.
Yeah.
Like my value is to like go out and be a friend of pleasure.
Right. Right. So the rich friend's role is to be the rich friend, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, so when
they're the friend of utility.
Yeah, the friend of utility. Like, if you get rich as a friend in a group, you got to own that. I'm sorry. But like, if you're a rich friend who's like, yeah, let's all split it 8 ways, and you're, extremely wealthy, like, you can do that, fine. But also, I think the cool thing is the occasional, like, yeah, I got this. Not make it a thing, but like, just, I got this.
Our rich friends have been pretty good.
Our rich friends have been
extremely good.
Our rich friends and family have been extremely good.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think you should assume it. I think if you're not the rich friend, never assume it.
Never assume it.
Never assume it. Treat them like, hey, we're all paying our fair share at this dinner. But I do think, note to the rich friend, like, when you've succeeded in life and you have these friendships, I think your role is you got to be the baller.
I know certain people, which is like, the inner circle. When we're really like hit it, when we're really, really wealthy, they would never pay for a drink ever again. Yeah. When I'm there.
Oh, totally.
Never again.
Totally. And I think part of it is because we have actual genuine friendships that are not based on transactional nature of it. I think it
Right.
depends on when you've met this rich friend, right? Because
Right.
like if you're trying to be a new friend to somebody who's very wealthy,
Yeah.
it could feel really uncomfortable if you're just like, oh, I didn't bring my wallet.
Right. Right. I mean, I have set the land speed record for slowest move to the
No,
wallet.
the move, the slow crawl to it.
What do I owe?
Yeah, what do I owe? As you're getting in the Uber, what did I owe?
What did I owe?
just so I know, what did I owe?
Yeah. Or the text later, hey, what
Hey,
did
what
I
did I owe on that? Hey,
Yeah.
hey, what would I have owed on that?
Yeah.
What would just out of curiosity? No, but that's
Yeah.
the other thing. I think I think the fair deal is you don't get to know.
You don't get to know.
You don't get to know how much it is.
If you didn't pay.
If you didn't pay, you don't get to know.
Oh, I don't want to know.
Yeah, but you shouldn't look at the tab. Like
Oh.
if you didn't pay, don't look at the tab. Don't open the tab. No, but people do that. I feel like that's a thing where you're at a restaurant and somebody pays and somebody else is like, "Oh, how much was it?" It's like, do not disrespect me in the house of the Lord, in the rich friend house of the Lord in the year 2022. Do not disrespect me by opening up the tab or even asking about it. And I feel like I learned that from like you used to have it would be like if you were out with a parent and they offered to pay, like, and you tried to look at the bill or something. I think I got my hand slapped one time.
Matt, if we were out with one of our rich friends and the bill comes, I am so far from that little book.
We put you at the opposite end.
Take a peek.
Yeah, no. Well, also the girl knows. She looks around the table. She's like, "Oh, he's there." So the
They're
bill
on the other side.
It must be over there.
Yeah.
The bill must be way over there on that end.
I didn't even. Sometimes I'm like, the bill came. Everyone's standing up.
No, that is the best feeling.
Oh yeah, like
Oh,
all
yeah.
right. So we should go out. I'm like, what do you mean? We didn't even pay yet.
Oh no, it's been
taken care of.
It's
Yeah,
been taken care of.
It's been taken care of.
I mean,
Yeah.
That's the greatest thing you can hear at a restaurant. Oh, it's been taken care of. Or at a hotel. Oh, when you go away with a friend and they pay. Oh, I mean, now I'm married. I don't have like male friends paying for my vacations, but I used to. But I definitely used to.
So speaking of having the meal taken care of, what do you think when you go to a restaurant and you know the owner, proprietor, someone who works there, chef, waiter,
I know where you're going with this.
and you're like, we are getting fucking hooked.
I know where you're going with this.
And then you get dessert.
That's it?
Dessert on the house.
That's it?
Sorbet for everyone who wants sorbet.
What is going through your head when you tell your friends, come on by? Because you should know that we're thinking, should I bring my wallet? I don't even need my wallet.
No wallet. The
No
chef,
wallet.
the owner?
I know the owner.
He owns
I know
it?
the chef. Why should I pay? I mean, it's on the house.
He's making it. It's just like being in his house. Here's a collection of sherbet, local sherbet.
So many sherbet.
Here's some cookies we
Why are
have.
there so many sherbets?
I don't want this.
I don't want your sherbet. We don't want your sherbet.
Free
I'm sorry.
lobster?
Free lobster I want.
Dude, remember the time we
Ooh.
went to, this was a secondary, this is so Matt. You guys, I wish you're going to get to know Matt. Matt was like, come to this restaurant. I know the chef. He's going to fucking make shit for us. He's going to give shit for We show up. Oh, where's the chef? Oh, he's not working
He
today.
wasn't even working that night. He wasn't even
Didn't you talk to him? Like, no, I just figured. He just figured.
Well, usually the chefs never take a night off. In my defense, chefs, they're like, their wives are like, I'm in labor. It's like, oh, sorry, there's a big crowd tonight. It's a
Someone's
Sunday. It's a Sunday. What do you want me to do? Sunday's a big night for us. You know,
Yeah.
she's like, well, they're doing a C-section. It's an emergency. I might die on the table. I'm sorry. It's a Tuesday. That's a big night for us.
You know how many, what do they call it? Tables, tops?
Covers. The other thing they do that's secondarily as bad. I mean, obviously the sherbet's the worst, but the other worst thing is if they even do hook you up, it's usually after you're full.
Right.
Right? Like you've already ordered too much because you're like, I'm thinking maybe we just order this. And then the waiter's like, no, that's not going to be enough food. And you're like, are you sure? And they're like, no, you should order more. And you're like, all right, I guess I'll get the steak and the lobster and everything. And then you're like 3/4 of the way through the steak. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, would you like this never ending pasta bowl? It's on the house.
And then you have to give a good tip.
Oh,
So you
you
pay
have to
more.
pay more.
And
You pay more. I think I pay more when I know the chef. So yeah, I think the takeaway is if you're the rich friend, you have a role, you're doing it, but I hope you you also have to appreciate your rich friends. You got to appreciate them. Like they're doing it also to feel like the rich friend.
You have to do a lot of gratitude.
A lot of gratitude. More than is earnest.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to lay it on thick.
Thick.
Yeah.
They like
Yeah.
that kind of like
'Cause they like-
cheesy. They're like it's a little cheesy.
They like going, no problem. Oh, don't worry about it. They like going like that.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
Don't even.
Yeah.
I got it. I
Yeah.
got it. They like ordering for you. Sometimes it's a little emasculating, but you got to take the good with the bad. Sometimes you just have to have another man order sushi for you.
Oh, I like being ordered for.
Of course you do.
I like being a kept man by my male friends.
Why am I not surprised? But also, if you're the chef, like I would love if there's any chefs listening. Like I love my chef friends. I just want to know, like, are we? Well, we're obviously being assholes, but are we not accurate, or maybe they do hook up people that are not us?
And also,
what's your experience? No, I just want to know what your experience is. If you're the audience, have you had this experience?
Also, we want to know what your role in your friend group is. So tell us, like, what you do for your friends. Are you a friend of pleasure? Are you a friend of utility? Are you the historian? Are you the secret keeper? Are you the mom?
Ugh.
And that's our show.
Hey,
Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the podcast, please subscribe. Give us a 5-star rating. Write a review, even if it's a quick one. Even if it's just Matt and Aaron are well hung. We're on social.
it's half true.
We're on social. It's mostly true. At Man of the Year Podcast on TikTok and Instagram and everything else. Be good to yourself. Be good to your friends. Love you,
Love
buddy.
you, buddy.